This program brought to you by the Arts and Communications Academy at Lansdowne High School.
Hi, I'm Jordan, and welcome to the second season of the Lansdowne Show. There have been so many changes at Lansdowne and across BCPS this year, from the 4-period day to teachers on revolves, 1 cards for attendance, and tons of new online content to navigate through BCPS 1. One thing that hasn't changed in LHS is the academy system, and one academy in particular is really starting off the year with some active participation. The Science, Engineering, and Information Technology Academy is home to many of Lansdowne's classes in the sciences and technology shops and many computer classes. In this episode, we're going to check in with students and teachers in AP Biology, Forensics, and a few other sciences. We also have some stories from Carpentry, English, and a couple of ways the Office of School to Career is helping Lansdowne students enter the workforce while still in high school. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn all about LHS right here on the Lansdowne Show.
Hi, Dr. A.
Hi.
What class was outside yesterday looking for stuff in the grass?
That was AP Biology.
Okay. And what were they looking for?
They were simulating a predator-prey relationship where they were the predators and they were hunting for beans in the grass.
Beans, okay.
We were simulating natural selection using beans.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had different types of predators. We were either a fork, a knife, a spoon, or chopsticks. And we had to see who had the best survival rate.
All right, thank you.
I'm interviewing today to be a business administrative assistant for Baltimore County Public Works.
Well, the School to Career program is a program that benefits everybody that has free time on their hands. So instead of going home, you'll find things to do, like you can do school, you can get into jobs or volunteer, any type of thing. So I usually just come in to talk to Ms. Hutchins about what I can get from this experience instead of just going home watching TV all day. So.
I'm interviewing for Baltimore County Public Works, and I'm hoping to get the job. Hopefully everything goes accordingly. And I'm gonna probably be working with a lot of tools. Ms. Hutchins told me about it when I came to get my schedule. She told me to take off all the classes on one of my days so I can have room for the internship. And she told me the benefits and stuff, so I decided to go along with it.
The School to Career program helps students get in a better track in the field that they want to go to when they get out of college, and their major, what they want to do in life as a career.
I just had an interview with Baltimore County Public Works for administrative assistant position, and I think it went pretty well. I enjoyed it. They were really nice. I felt welcomed. I had to print my cover letter and my resume. I studied some questions so that I'd be really prepared.
I had to make a resume, do a cover letter, make sure I'm aware of the questions that will be asked, and just make sure I portray as a professional person.
Well, the intern program leads you into the School to Career because you have to go through the School to Career program in order to intern at the place your academy is in. So for me, child development, I had to come to Ms. Hutchins, and she helped me find a really good daycare to help with my internship. Well, right now I'm working towards my 90-hour, which it gives me a daycare certificate. Most people go to college for that, so I get in high school, and then after that probably college and finishing up the daycare certificate, which can lead into better paying at a daycare.
I think it's gonna go great. I hope I don't get nervous or anything, but I think it should be good.
Why do basketball players love cookies?
Because they can dunk them.
Wasn't that funny? Still ahead on this month's episode, we'll have a look at forensics class with an experiment with dry ice. Right now, let's see what English 9 is doing in the library, how the ruler game is used in carpentry, and how the Advanced Path program is helping Vikings graduate.
We're standing out in front of Champney's room. We're about to go inside and find out what the ruler game's all about. Come on. Here with Mr. Champney, about to find out what the ruler game is. Can you explain, Mr. Champney?
Sure. In carpentry, it's very important to measure things accurately. And the way that we measure is we use a tape measure. And today my students are learning how to use a tape measure by way of the ruler game.
And you have certain levels. You have all these down here, which is 16, 8s, quarters, halves, wholes.
It's an excellent game. It's engaging, and it is not too hard, but they have to measure from whole numbers up to all the way up to 1/16.
Well, I think Advanced Path is more for the student who can't thrive in the typical classroom environment, who would do better probably at their own pace and in an individualized approach.
I think it's a good program because it gives students who haven't necessarily done what they are supposed to do a chance to go back and do it again and do it the right way. And with me, I know it's helped me a lot because I missed like 16 credits and now I'm currently making them up and I already got 4, so.
Well, not every student is the same, and some need more and some need less attention from teachers and less pressure, especially from the peers around them that can be distracting.
That way kids can finish at their own pace, they don't have to be rushed, they don't have to be too slow.
I feel like I'm learning more because there's a teacher in the classroom that covers like each and every subject. So I'm doing a certain class online and there's something I need help with. I'm not just sitting there, wondering what am I supposed to do. Call one of them teachers over and they're like, here, let me explain it to you. And it's more one-on-one, and most kids prefer to have one-on-one. So
you can literally just go at your own pace and apply how you want to do your work.
I'm very thankful because I feel like if it weren't for this program, I probably wouldn't graduate when I'm supposed to, and I'm supposed to graduate this year, and highly confident I will now.
Coming up next on the Lansdowne Show is Instagram, and then followed up by yours truly, the mintiest of all Jimmys.
Anarchy for justice!
Graham! Oh God! Where am I? You're in school, Graham.
In school? Wait, why am I in here?
I'm asleep.
I'm asleep.
Yes.
And if I do remember, last thing I remember is laying down this chair right at school and didn't take a nap.
Graham.
How long have I been out?
Well, school started again.
Wait, what? You mean I'd pass after an entire summer and just been hibernating in here, untouched till now?
Yes, Graham.
Why didn't you hook me up? Why did you wake me up anyway?
Take this. It's time once more for the Instagram.
No! This Instagram's instance of random. Once again, I guess I will. Did you know? The first movie star to appear on television was Felix the Cat. The first broadcast image made during testing was a Felix statue rotating on a turntable. Also, while most of it lies in Africa, a small part of Egypt is located in Asia as well. G.I. Joe is called Action Man in the United Kingdom, and when I talk about bones and need to take our bones, on the same side as bones, the human bone most often broken is the clavicle, which is also known as your collarbone. Thanks once again, and I would really like to go back to sleep, but school started again, and I need my educations. Goodbye.
Hey, it's Jimmy After Dark, and it's October. You know what happens in October? Scary things. I don't like scary things. Haunted Hollows happens in October, and it's really scary. They have clowns and blood and other things, and I really don't like it. I'm gonna stay home and get a really good night's sleep. What are you gonna do?
So here I am, standing outside our School to Career office, and our School to Career office has a very special relationship with the Baltimore Orioles. A lot of the TARP crew members, the field workers, come from right here in Lansdowne.
We have a lot of Orioles fans on the crew, and we have semi-Orioles fans. You don't have to be an Orioles fan to work there. You don't have to love baseball to work there. It's just an awesome job to work at.
Me, myself, Mike Tritley, Chris Flores, David Miller, Jerome West, two that graduated last year, all got the job working with the Orioles from the School to Career office. They'll make an announcement, you got to come down and pick up a paper, and maybe you can be on it yourself. I got the job. This year is my first year, and it's a lot of fun. You get to meet the players, you get to talk with them. It's a little bit of hard work, especially when it rains, but it's worth it.
Do you feel like you're part of the organization?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you feel like you're an Oriole?
Yeah.
You get to talk to players sometimes. They're real chill and laid back. Last night, Adam Jones came and we just started jumping around him and chanting.
This just further goes to show how Lansdowne's this small gear in this big machine of life. I know how important the Baltimore Orioles are to the city of Baltimore, and Lansdowne's doing its part. We are the AL East champions. We're having a landmark season, the best one we've had since 1997, and I hope to see you into late October, and I hope to have my job into late October. Go O's.
Now you know a little more about the special relationship Lansdowne has with our Baltimore Orioles, and yet another great opportunity for LHS students available through the School to Career office. Now, let's learn a little bit more about our program in drama and JROTC.
I like teaching theater at Lansdowne because it's kind of a break for most students from their normal academic. I teach English and theater, and the theater classes, the kids are able to get out and perform and learn and express themselves a little differently than they can in a normal class. It really shows some of their creative sides in a way that they don't get to do other places.
Alright, what's the play that we're doing coming up?
The fall play this year is a play called It Was a Dark and Stormy Night, and it's kind of a murder mystery play about a crazy family who's trying to get a nurse to come and live at the house. But as the play goes on, you find out that they're crazy and they're killing off these girls who are coming in to interview.
I've actually been acting since I was like 6, but I've done a lot of Shakespeare and some musicals and stuff, so.
What roles have you played?
I've been in a variety of roles. I've been in a few different leads, but I'm generally a named character that's not a lead. For example, in one Shakespeare production, I was like the assistant to the lead, and in another one, I was the male lead when there were mostly female actors in the play.
What do you like about theater in Lansdowne?
I like acting in Lansdowne because it's just a different environment from where I've normally been acting. It's a lot more laid back and just it's kind of chill.
Well, I've been in Beauty and the Beast. I clearly played the Beast. And, oh, I was in this one called The Wizard of Oz. I was the house. It was very, roomy. Yeah.
Alright, what do you like about being in Lansdowne and being in the theater program?
That's a hard question. No, I like how we, do monologues and stuff, and we goof around.
This is Sarah Adams, and this is theater.
Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the JROTC uniforms here at Lansdowne. We're going to start with cords. Now, cords can be earned for a number of different reasons. For example, just being a part of our JROTC program here, you get your school cord, which is right here. You can also get a drill team cord for participating in a drill team competition. There's multiple other cords like Color Guard, Raiders, JCLC, and of course, drill team. Now, moving on from there, we have ribbons. Now, ribbons, there's a lot more. You can get them for a bunch of different reasons. For example, just being a part of the program, you get your school ribbon. You get recruiting for recruiting a friend in the program. There's service learning hours for getting your hours, etc. A bunch of stuff like that. Moving on from there, we have arcs. Arcs can be earned similarly to cords or ribbons. Some arcs include honor unit, which is what our unit is, which symbolizes this gold star right here. We have drill team for being a part of drill team and participating in a competition. There's also recruiting, which you will get from recruiting a friend into the program. Now there's a bunch of other ones like JCLC, Raiders, Color Guard, etc. From there we're going to move on. You have your name tag. The gold star symbolizes honor unit. And you also have ranks. Now ranks can be awarded for a number of different reasons, which is you're doing well in the program or you have a position change. So that's about it. I'm Jordan Britz, and it's the JROTC uniform.
Alright, so coming up next on the Lansdowne Show, we have some forensic science and a few experiments with Mr. Walsh.
Today at Forensic Science, we are taking photos, sketches, and notes of a crime scene.
Also measurements. The assignment is to just pretty much investigate the crime scene here. We got the note takers, people who take the notes. We got the photographers. Then we got the people who create the rough sketch and everything, and they have to do all these notes here. And then we got the evidence collector who says what you do with all the evidence here. And then you'll come together and create a full crime scene investigation.
Measuring how far the knife was from the front door.
I have to take the overall view of the pictures as well as all the evidence markers with and without all the evidence. So I'm just trying to take as many pictures as I can.
Eventually, I guess we'll figure out, because it's a story behind the crime scene, and we'll figure out who murdered the victim.
Okay, this one is because it's the bloody fingerprint and the knife. And then I had to get a full body of what's going on, so I had to stand in one of the corners. And then here's one of the body outline. This was another one of the overviews. And then there's the heart. I had to take a close-up of where the stabbing was.
This is a rough sketch of the crime scene. Everyone has to do a rough sketch and just get where everything is, basically. And then you always have to include a compass, and you have to write the officer's name and your name on the sketch and the date. And on the final sketch, you have to do the location and all the evidence. You have to make a key saying A, B, C, D is so-and-so objects.
I think I'm learning that forensics is not exactly the easiest thing, and it's not exactly how it's portrayed, how most people would think it is. I am Darius Alexander, and this is Forensics Honors. Come here next year.
My name's James Souders, and we're standing out in front of Mr. Walsh's room, and word around the school is he's doing a pretty cool experiment with dry ice. Let's go see what it's all about.
And plug them into channel 1 and channel 2. Channel 1 and channel 2.
I'm standing here with Joey White, and we're going to learn what he did today in aerospace and science class. Joey, what you do?
I took 2 beakers, filled one with oxygen, covered it with a film, took another one, filled it with carbon dioxide and oxygen, covered it again with a film, put 2 temperature readings on it. It showed that the carbon dioxide filled up and heated more than the oxygen had to have heated. That's what we did today as an experiment.
Sounds good. What'd you learn from it?
I learned that carbon dioxide heats up a lot faster than oxygen would.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot for talking to me.
Thank you.
See you later.
Our last few segments this month come from the visitors, guests, and one special student studying abroad. First, we'll get a peek at some visitors from the U.S. Army who came to show students some Army robotics, and then we'll get a brief video from Anassa Holt, who's currently making many videos for her YouTube channel, NASA TV, chronicling her adventures while attending a semester of high school in Okinawa, Japan. And finally, we'll show you the latest episode of The Carsons, a YouTube series by our recent graduate, Noah Cutright.
So this is to show some of the different stuff that the Army has to offer instead of all the stuff you see on TV. We have an EOD robot out here that shows kids how to operate it. We have controls that they can move the cones around. Inside we have some different Xbox games that they can play. And then we have a football toss just to get the kids out here and get them interested.
The aspect we're going to talk about is these robots. You guys ever seen a robot like that before? Detonating IEDs? Okay. We're going to dispose of IEDs. Very close to what he's saying. They're going to put one of these robots on the ground, and then they're going to drive that robot out to where we think the IED is. Once the robot gets there, it's going to help us determine as to whether or not there really is a bomb on the ground. Now, this robot doesn't detect any bombs. It doesn't determine anything. It doesn't do anything other than what we tell it to do. It has 4 cameras on board. It's got 2 fixed cameras to the front, 1 fixed camera to the rear, and it's got another camera right here that turns 360 degrees and it can tilt up and down. Robot's going to drive back down with the explosives. Plant the explosives on the IED. Once it's planted, we're going to bring the robot back to us, and then we're going to detonate that C4, which will in turn detonate the IED.
Lansdowne is one of those high schools where they have an Army ROTC, so that helps out. But as a recruiter, we're required to go to different high schools. But whenever you go to a high school like Lansdowne, I still get to feel like I'm in the Army a little bit. I get to help the cadets out. I get to yell at the cadets when they do stupid stuff. But you still feel like you're in the Army versus just in the civilian world as a recruiter.
Steve, what are you doing home so early?
I got fired today.
Oh my God, that's awful. What happened?
Carson, you're fired. Yeah, you might want to go to the hospital. I'd rather not talk about it.
What are we going to do? If you don't have a job, how are we going to stay afloat?
Don't worry, Katie. There's always money to be found for a man who's willing to work for it. Jeez, nobody told me the line was going to be this long. I would have just stayed at home.
Okay, Mr. Carson, here's your bi-weekly unemployment check.
This check is for almost $1,000. That's close to what I make when I actually work. And I use the term work loosely.
Yep, the government takes good care of its citizens.
I have come to collect my pension.
Sorry, no can do, buddy.
But I've served the United States military for 10 years. I've seen combat overseas. I missed 10 years of my son's life for this country.
You want to complain? Take your complaints over there.
groceries. That's a first.
Just showing my lady that I can provide for her in this little cutie.
That's sweet of you, honey. But you should be out looking for work. I can handle the shopping.
Sorry, Katie, but that part of my life is over. I'm never going to work again.
What made you come to this stupid conclusion?
This big fat government check.
Steve, this is an unemployment check. We can't live off these. We have a mortgage, bills, and bail to pay.
That sounds like a challenge, Katie. Challenge accepted.
No, Steve. It's a fact. Besides, unemployment checks are for the people who are actively seeking work, not for lazy slobs trying to cheat the system.
Doesn't say that on the check. Trust me, Katie, I know what I'm doing.
Steve, I found an ad in the paper for a job at the butcher shop.
Katie, do you remember what happened to me last time I worked there?
Yeah, I had a guy who worked here. He skipped out on the job last weekend. Oh, there he is. By the way, you're fired.
Oh, never again.
Steve, these mortgage payments are starting to pile up. Notice, where's our money? We break thumbs.
Don't worry about it, babe. I've always got a backup plan. There, problem solved.
No, problem not solved. Where are we gonna live?
Don't you just love the great outdoors? Hey, you guys scared of a little thunder? Okay, this could be bad. Hello, my darling wife. Come to bask in the glory that is unemployment?
No. I'm taking Nicole and we're staying at my mother's until you gave up this crazy idea of never working again.
Your mother? Aw, but she hates me. This will just fuel her fire.
Well, until you are able to take care of us, I'm afraid I have no choice. Goodbye, Stephen B. Carson.
Well, at least I have the dog to keep me company. Mr. Snibley, I've come to demand my job back. Please.
All right, Carson. You can have your job back on one condition.
It feels so good to be back on the couch.
Yeah. Well, I'm off to work, honey.
Okay, have a great day.
Yeah, Larry, good talks. We should have added a dartboard in the break room years ago.
Well, that's all we have for this month on the Lansdowne Show. Be sure to check us out on YouTube at LHS Televideo for archived videos. And tune in next month for more outstanding students, lessons, activities, and more right here at Lansdowne's High School Academy on the Lansdowne Show. My name's Jordan Santiago saying, don't forget to buy a yearbook.